What's going on? I had to unprivate my page to make sure everybody was getting the notifications.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I left for a second. But what's going on, man? How are you doing?
I'm chill, man. I'm in quarantine.
No, same. I went through this whole situation where I shaved my beard. So the last time we talked, I obviously had the big beard.
Yeah, I was glad.
It was getting out of control, and then I shaved it, and like automatically regretted it, like right after, which always happens. I'm not used to being a baby face, no pun intended, but
no, I don't.
Yeah,
I'm not. You know, what's funny? My wife just asked me. She was like, I was like, so what's up with your hair? She's like, what's up with your beard? And I was like, oh.
When was the last time you clean shaved? You were clean shaven kind of in the WWE when you were there, though.
Yeah, I mean, like me, I fluctuate. I'm always changing. So like, I can grow a beard in a month.
No, same.
Yeah. So like for me, like sometimes I want a beard, sometimes I want a goatee. I can't keep the same facial style for like more than 3 months.
Okay, that's fair. I used to be like that when I was younger, but then I think I got lazy. I think I was just like, let it grow, let it be a beard. It's okay. I always joke around too. I'm like, I always joke around.
Another thing for me is I have to go to meetings all the time.
Yeah.
And you know, I have to come across not as the wrestler. You know
no, for sure.
So
I was going to say, as an actor, you probably have to switch it up sometimes too for roles, right?
Yeah. Which is weird because like when I'm the bad guy, I have a beard.
Yeah.
When I'm charming, I have no facial hair.
Isn't that weird though? Like when people think of people that are bad guys, they think of facial hair, like they should have a beard or something. But if you're like a good guy, you should be like clean shaven and look clean. Well, I'm like, a lot of clean shaven guys are probably more meaner than the guys with the beards.
Well, you know what's crazy? I remember I did an audition for Mortal Kombat.
Yeah.
And they were like, hey, can you like trim down your beard because you're like a bad guy? And I was like, okay. And I trimmed down the beard. And they're like, oh yeah, now you look like a really good guy. And I'm like,
that's insane. Well, welcome everybody. We're gonna do a live stream today. So if you guys haven't, be sure to go on YouTube and check out my last conversation with Shad, one of the casual conversations that we had.
How's that doing?
It's doing good. Like for my channel, which has been very stop and go in the past few years, like for it to get the 3,000 views that it's gotten, over 3,000 views, that's good for that channel as of right now. And then tomorrow, just a little like sneak peek for everyone. Tomorrow I'm going to promote all the shows I've done already. So I'm going to be taking clips from each one I've done and putting them on the page. We're just kind of locked out of the page for the weekend and trying to figure things out. But besides that, I'm getting back onto routine. But yeah, if you guys haven't, go check it out. It's on my YouTube channel, The Wrestling Classic. And then next week, we're going to try doing this again, but we're going to go live on YouTube. We just want to go live on Instagram this week to kind of give you guys the opportunity to engage with us, ask questions, and get accustomed to the conversation and being a part of it. So when we do go live on YouTube next week, you guys will come and join us.
Well, that's why I told you like last time. I was like, you know what? I do shows all the time, but I would never mind having a podcast, doing a podcast with somebody. And I wouldn't mind doing a podcast with you. You know what I'm saying? Like our conversation was really that good to where I was like, you know, I can do this with you every week. And we could just talk about wrestling news, what's going on in the business.
Yeah.
You know, and all that kind of stuff, you know? So, yeah.
100%. And I think I really appreciate you saying that. When you said that, I got kind of excited because I'm like, that would be fun. Like, I started the casual conversations basically because everyone's quarantining and I figured everyone's free and also everyone's bored. So let's put up some more content. And our conversation was great. And then you were telling stories and stuff. I'm like, man, this actually would be fun to do every week. But the one thing that was kind of missing, if we were going to do this every week, is the fans and the people and the followers and listeners. So we want to get you guys included in asking questions. So that being said, let me see if you guys have said anything that is a question yet. A lot of people, here's something that I think a lot of people, I want you to talk about it actually, because there's probably a ton of comparisons. I know you talked about it before. Cryme Time versus the Street Profits. How are you guys similar and how are you guys different?
I mean, it's the main thing that's similar between us is that we're black.
Yeah. I mean,
you know what I'm saying? Me and Jay are a lot different. Montez, so I met Montez for the first time at WrestleMania. And Shane Helms, a couple of guys were like, oh, hey, you're in New York, come to the hotel. I was like, oh, yeah, let's go. So I came by the hotel, had drinks with Shane and all them, and I saw Montez, and you never know how people are going to act towards you because other people are trying to compare you to them. You know what I mean? So my first thing was, let me let this guy know I'm just chill, and we're just, you know, we're just good guys. And so I went up to him and I said, hey, what's up, man? How you doing? Shad. He's like, yeah, of course I know who you are.
Yeah.
And we started talking, and then this girl came by, and I was like, oh, hey, what's up? How you doing? We started talking, and Shelton Benjamin, who's my brother for life, you know what I'm saying? We all just started talking, and then me and him got to know each other. Then the following night, I met Angelo and everybody else, and it was just really cool. And since that time, you know, we had like Kofi, like that was a WrestleMania with Kofi.
Kofi Mania. Yeah.
Yeah. And so afterwards, after WrestleMania, we all went to the after party for WWE. We got invited. And so we go to the after party because the office is like, hey, you're in New York, come to the after party. And I'm like, all right, cool, because you never know at the office.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Like, all right, what's the scam here?
Yeah.
So we go to
what's
the
the
party.
catch?
Yeah, we go to the party. We get to talking. We're all talking with Booker, and I'm like, yeah, take photos. We took photos. We chill. We talked. You know, we talked about the ups and downs we went through, what they should expect. They let us know their frustrations, what they were going through. We kind of let them know, you know, don't voice your frustrations because people will use that against you. You know what I'm saying? In this company. Because as a person of color, when you voice your frustration, it's not seen as you're voicing your frustration for everybody around you. It's seen as you're being ungrateful.
Yeah.
You're happy in the position that we allow you to have. You know what I'm saying? And I think they took that and they were like, they understood like right away. They were like, wow, you guys want us to succeed. You guys don't want us to fail. It's like, no, there's no benefit to me if you fail, you know, as a professional wrestler, as a black tag team. There's no benefit to anybody. You know what I'm saying? We want the best out of you. And so from that point, we've just been all good friends, follow each other on IG, see each other at the show. I saw him, last time I saw him was at the Fox show at Staples Center.
Yeah.
Literally, we're hugs and kisses.
Well, would there ever be the potential of a Cryme Time versus Street Profits match sometime in the future? Is that a never say never type of thing?
I think so, but I think that's incumbent on their success.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Like, there was never Prime Time players was a Prime Time match. Why would there be?
No, for sure.
Prime Time players weren't, you know, like, again, I think Titus's career is great. I think D's career is great. I think they're great guys. But there was never an amount of success that argued for that to happen.
Yeah.
It was never like the fans were like, oh, the primetime players are making this much noise. So now we want to see them versus Cryme Time. You see what I'm saying?
It wasn't one of those, we want to see Demolition versus Legion of Doom because they both got their faces painted and they're kind of similar, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So,
yeah, I completely understand. How is JTG doing? Everyone's asking that.
Fat. No, Jay's buff as shit right now. He's like 245. Body, like he looks like a bodybuilder right now.
Yeah.
But he's about so if you understand, when Jay wrestled, he was probably around, I'd say 220, 225, right? Maybe around that. Now he's like 245.
Wow.
JTG's now stands for Just the Guns because his arms are big as shit.
What did JT's G originally stand for? Did it just stand for something?
Just too good.
Oh.
Just too good.
No way.
Just too great. And then I started a rumor saying it stood for just too gay.
He probably wasn't a fan of that.
And then Vince heard about it. He was like, so is Jay, like that? And I was like, yeah, boss, he doesn't like girls. He's like, oh, I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. It's just fine. It's just, I mean, if that's what JTG stands for, I was like, it does. It stands for, I was like, he's one of our first gay pride wrestlers. He's like, well, Pat's, Pat likes that. And I was like, yeah.
That's so funny. Shout out to Glenn Robert Ford's in here. I just want to give him a shout out.
Oh, I love Glenn.
Those pictures that I posted of me and Shad and me and Cryme Time from WrestleMania weekend were actually taken by Glenn. He was hanging out with them at WrestleCon. That's where we first met. And just want to give him a shout out. He's in here. He also did this cool Howard Finkel impersonation intro for me, which was super cool. So shout out to him. Other than that, how do you feel about everything right now, man? It's been another week of audience-less wrestling. I tuned into Raw. I watched AEW. I'm still having a hard time watching it, man. As the weeks go by, Like I still appreciate them putting on shows, but do you find it kind of hard to watch without the audience?
Currently right now, I'll watch it on like my phone.
Yeah.
Like if I'm scrolling through IG and I see something cool, like I saw Drew have a match with Paul, the Big Show.
Yeah.
And I immediately was like, going to watch this.
Yeah.
And I loved it. You know what I'm saying? But there's nothing while I'm home, quarantined, that's like, I got to watch Raw tonight. I got to watch NXT. I got to watch even AEW, which I love. And my boy Lance Hoyt is doing great.
Yeah.
But it's one of those things where, like, there's no motivation to watch because I don't have a schedule. You know?
Yeah, I feel that, but I also just kind of feel like it's like, in the generation that we live in with having our laptops and our phones and all these things, it's very hard for me to pay attention when I'm not hearing the crowd in the background too, you know? Like if I look away and I start looking at my phone, there's nothing that like, sometimes you hear a pop or the crowd start chanting something, you look back up, you're like, oh, am I missing something? But that doesn't happen, which is kind of weird.
It's one of those things where I love the Daily Show. Mm-hmm. I love Jimmy Kimmel, all those shows, you know what I'm saying? It's one of those things where you're watching and you don't know when to laugh because you can't hear the audience laugh. So they'll say a joke and you're like, huh, that's funny, but nobody else is laughing but you.
Yeah.
And so it's kind of an awkwardness to it. You know what I'm saying? I think this is an opportunity for all promotions to try to get a live audience feed like we're doing right now and play it as people are watching. You know, I mean, that's a genius idea would be, hey, you got Zoom? Yeah. Well, why can't we Zoom WWE?
Yeah.
Create a Zoom and be like, hey, WWE's partnering with Zoom, watch live with other fans, and you can watch other people watching, and it helps you get into it because now you know you're not alone.
Yeah, and you know what? That actually is really smart because this past Tuesday I watched AEW Dark on YouTube. Yeah. Because one of my friends within the wrestling industry, the independent wrestler named Joe Alonzo, he was on there facing Cody Rhodes, and he kept reminding me, he's like, make sure you watch it, make sure you watch it. I'm like, yeah, for sure, bro, I'll watch it. And I watched it as it was premiering. As you know, on YouTube, when you put up a video first, you can premiere it and allows people to comment while it's on. And about 6,000 people were watching it, and they were all commenting in the chat section. And for some reason, that made it more enjoyable to watch because I felt like I was watching it with people, and there was an audience, and we were all watching it together in this period where a lot of us are social distancing or like staying in our own area by ourselves. And you're right, like it gets kind of like that engagement makes a difference.
You go to a show, you go to the concerts, you go to the events because you want the engagement of other people who are like-minded like you. You know what I'm saying? You go to church because you're with like-minded people. You go to a concert because you're with like-minded people. Create an atmosphere of like-minded people, okay, to watch your product, and then you'll see the ratings go back up. Because now, when I see somebody do something, I can't turn to my wife and talk about wrestling. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? My wife hates wrestling. Yeah. Like legitimately, I'm like first time I met my wife, she was like, "What are you, like a football player?" I was like, "What are you, like a model?" It was like, "You wrestle?" I was like, "Yeah." She was like, "All right." I was like, "You're the one." No, but it was just like, you know, you want to get away from the people in your life that don't understand your passion for this entertainment. So create a platform where it's like, okay, you guys are watching wrestling, great. I can watch and somebody says a comment and I go, yeah, that's true. Nia Jax might be too dangerous. Oh, no, Nia Jax. Oh, no, stop talking about Nia. Okay, great. Now I'm talking to somebody about Nia Jax that I don't even know. You know what I'm saying? I'm engaged more, and now I'm watching the match more because I'm engaging with other people. We have all these technologies, but they're not taking advantage of it. That's the problem. They need to take advantage of the technology we have and create the community to watch the products.
There's so many options. Like you said, there's Zoom, I think. There's YouTube, obviously. There's Twitch. I know a lot of people stream live on Twitch, and I think that's the way to build that community and have people, even here on Instagram, if they just somehow will allow people to watch it and be able to comment like they are in this live stream, like I think that would be really cool because that is missing.
I honestly feel like AEW is getting there, and I feel like WWE is missing the ball on understanding how to bring in an audience.
Yeah.
And this is the thing about WWE. they're always late to the dance when it comes to social technology. I remember when I first got Twitter, I got yelled at by Cena for having a Twitter.
Really?
I got yelled at. Like we all got yelled at for having Twitters, for having Facebooks, because it was like, what are you guys doing going on online? And it was like, we're building, like Paul Heyman, like first told us, he goes, hey, build your own brand away from the company. You know what I'm saying? And so we build our brand on MySpace in OVW. And we learned to do that on MySpace, then brought it over to Facebook and Twitter and Instagram. And that's how we could, like, I was late to the dance on Instagram.
Yeah.
I'm late to the dance on TikTok right now. Yeah. But it's like, even though I'm late, I can still build my brand.
100%.
You know,
and I think that's actually really true, because you kind of have to hit when the time is right. Because a lot of people ask me, like, how'd you build your following? I'm like, timing was a big deal. Like, I don't think you could do what I did now, what I did 6 years ago. Because when there wasn't those many wrestling pages on here, WWE wasn't that good at their Instagram either at that point. I was doing stuff they weren't even doing yet. Like, it's different. So that does. I'm surprised though that they were like against wrestlers having Twitter and stuff back then. Well,
because it's an old school mentality.
Yeah.
And Vince is very, you know, he's very set in his ways. Paul and Stephanie aren't.
Yeah.
Paul and Stephanie can say, like, Paul has a tendency to go, yo, my bad, I was wrong about that. Let's move on.
Yeah.
Let's correct it. Vince has a tendency to go, I was wrong. No, I wasn't wrong. I just wasn't right.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He will push that shit until it gets over.
Yeah.
But Paul and Stephanie would be like, we were wrong.
Our
let's
bad.
do this better. Let's make up for us being wrong. Let
me ask you about that though. Let me ask you about Twitter and stuff generally though, because obviously with social media we see now it a lot. It doesn't bother me really, because I think I'm just older now and I got a better understanding of just how the world and life and business works and how wrestling. Like I do strongly believe, as hard as it is, like with the internet just generally, like kayfabe's pretty much dead. Like, you know, like it's not what it used to be. That everyone kind of knows a little bit too much now, but there is still that thing of like, do you think it's wrong where, like, say if two people are feuding on television and like their feud ends, like 2 months later you see them hanging out on Christmas on Instagram dancing together? Like, is that something that you would, like, if you were the owner of the company, would you be like, let's calm it down on just that aspect, but do your thing? Because I think there are wrestlers that try to stay true to it, like they'll be who they are on television and straight to that person on social media. But then you'll see those people that'll be like, well, listen, when I'm on social media, they'll refer to themselves by their real names and say, I'm this person. But when I'm on TV, I'm that person. What do you think is the more appropriate approach to that?
Like me personally, I don't think kayfabe's dead.
Yeah, fair.
No, because you know what it is? I've legitimately had people walk up to me and Jason while we're somewhere out of LA, and they'd be like, yo, what up, Cryme Time? I'm like, hey, what up, man? They're like, oh, yo, are you guys still friends? And I'm like, what? I'm like, what? And they're like, well, you punched him in the face, man. I mean, that was a few years ago, but still. And I'm like, yeah, bro, this is my brother for life. Yeah. So I think that kayfabe is dead in the cynics.
Yeah.
So guys who think they know everything, it's dead. But a lot of you guys don't know everything. You know what I'm saying? It's, you know, it's like I'll do this with guys just to fuck with them. And I'm like, oh yeah, like Steve over there, like Steve, you know Steve from Gold's Gym, little short guy with the blonde hair. And they go, yeah, I know Steve, yeah, I just made Steve fuck up. And they were like, oh, why would you do that? Because you're not honest. Like people are so afraid of looking stupid by not knowing something. Yeah.
Well, I have so many it's that when we talked about this a little bit last time, I'm like, I think that's the biggest issue. I just think with the internet, if you're on the internet, because I know there's a lot of places in the world, like I can say specifically, I know in India, for example, kayfabe is alive and well. Like
it's alive and well in India.
They believe wrestling, like, and I love it. Like, because I have my Indian followers talk to me, like, and I love it. I have cousins that call me from there, and they're like, "Oh my God, this guy, like, oh, you know, John Cena can't lose. Look at his muscles." Like, they believe it. You know what I mean? So don't get me wrong. I know it's not like dead, but I think it's dead in the aspect of that fan base that does want to know everything, of that fan base that is on the internet. And we kind of talked about it last time. Like, you know, you're kind of doing it to yourself. If you're reading all the newsletters and the dirt sheets and trying to hear about all the rumors, then you're literally killing it for yourself. But
But who really like this? It's like people don't understand. There's like a small minute of fans that know everything. Like you have like 10% that actually follow the dirt sheets religiously.
Yeah.
Stick to them. You know what I'm saying? And it seems like a lot, but you got to understand, wrestling is the most popular form of entertainment in the world. Okay? Yeah. On most continents, wrestling's in the top 5. Okay? Not basketball, not football, not baseball. Soccer and wrestling are usually the top. Only in North America is soccer not in the top 5.
Yeah, and that's only kind of in North America where more people are watching basketball and football and hockey. Where, for example, like in India, they're not watching hockey like American football. You know what I mean?
Hold up, when I was in India, I filmed the Brothers with Akshay Kumar, right?
Yeah,
and legitimately, I was like, oh, India, I'm gonna be chill, I'm gonna have fun.
Yeah,
me and my boy Conan, he's with the Mountain on Game of Thrones. We went out, and people were like, oh, Conan Stevens, and they go, it's Shad from Cryme Time. I'm like, whoa.
Dude, they love wrestling.
I was like legitimately, I was like, what?
Yeah, no, but like, so like, I do think it's a weird fine line. I just wanted to ask that because, so I think like social media does kind of hurt it a bit, but I think if you're looking, I think it is true. Like if you're looking for it, then you're gonna hurt it if you're looking for it, right?
I think that kayfabe is a good thing, and I think that most fans need to realize that you don't want the spoiler to every movie because then it loses its luster.
Mm-hmm. So it's crazy because people will go crazy like, hey, don't spoil the Game of Thrones season finale for me. Don't spoil Endgame for me. Don't spoil that for me. But when it comes to wrestling, it's like everyone's posting the spoilers, want to be the one to report it first. Like, oh, this guy was backstage. We heard it here. And then people don't get surprised. Like, oh, wrestling has no more surprises anymore. Well, it's because you don't want the surprise.
I remember we were driving. And my car was usually me, my partner, Umaga, Charlie, Shelton, Mike Kyoto, the referee, and Carlito, right? And we had stopped over this restaurant, and we're chilling. And soon we get in, the guy who's in the front, he knows who we are. Everybody in there knows who we are. And we walk in, we sit down, and the waiter comes in, he's like, oh, he's a big fan. He goes from person to person, and he gets to Eki, Umaga. And he goes, can somebody translate what he wants? And Eki's like, yeah, bro, I want some eggs. And he goes, you speak English? And we all just sat there, we're like, and Eki goes, blah, 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 wow. And the guy's like, oh, there you go.
That's so funny.
Eggs. And we start dying laughing because he didn't want to ruin it for the guy.
Yeah.
This is a grown man who doesn't realize that Umaga speaks perfect English. And he's like, what's going on? And he goes, blah, 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 blah. And the guy goes, oh, what does he want? And Carly's like, he wants the eggs and bacon.
That's so funny. Rest in peace, Umaga. That's a funny. How do you feel about Bianca Bel-Air? Have you seen a lot of Bianca Bel-Air? That's Montana's wife. I know you've met her, but have you seen her character? How do you feel about it?
Dude, I think she's amazing because she's a mother, a wife, a supporter. Like, you don't understand, man. You don't find that. Like, you don't find that, and not alone in the business, in the world. Somebody who's going to support you on your dream, for one, raise your children for 2, be a good wife for 3, and then accentuate your career by joining.
Yeah.
Like Charmel does that for Booker. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Bianca does that for Montez. But you don't see that a lot in the business. Relationships in the business don't work out normally. You know what I'm saying? They really, really don't. I've known so many people that have dated that it's crazy how it didn't work out.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Punk had like a trail of divas for a while. Cody, a trail. You know, it's like, come on. So it's like to have her come in like that, man, she's awesome.
Obviously, like have the locker rooms changed in a sense? Because if you watch things like Dark Side of the Ring, they'll be like back in the day when Savage threw Elizabeth on the road. It was very like, you know, he was overprotective because the boys are the boys, and whatnot. Like, is it harder to date now? And do you think backstage, or do you think it's easier? Do you think they accommodate you more? Or is it always just kind of like there's gonna be issues there that they're gonna have to deal with?
I mean, I wouldn't know. Like when we were in the locker room, it was one of those things where like we chat. Like I never went to go. We never went to go somewhere where everybody knew who we were.
Yeah.
Like, I remember we were all at a bar in Ohio, somewhere like that, and we're drinking, have a good time. We wouldn't go, oh hey, I'm WWE Pro Wrestler. No, like I remember me and Cena, we were just talking to these girls, and they were like, "Who are you?" And he was like, "John." "Who are you?" "Shad." Like, "What do you do?" I'm a landscaper. Yeah. And, Carlito's like, "I do." Like, we're like, "Oh, we do porn." Or like we just joke around, and it's like you never wanted to know. So when you met a girl that you wanted to bring backstage, guys kind of knew like, all right, this is wifey. Like my wife. Like the first time my wife came backstage, we probably were dating for like maybe 2-3 weeks, but I knew like I cared for her, and we've been talking for like a month plus, and she came backstage, and the first thing Big Show said, so when he saw her, he goes, "Hey, real quick, you can do better." He's like, "I'm 7 feet tall. I'm married, but I'm 7 feet tall. I mean, come on." And then Carlito comes up and he's like, "Hey, by the way, he's married, but come on, I'm Puerto Rican." But it's one of the things where it's like, you don't want to mess with somebody's girl. Yeah. But at the same time, this business doesn't breed relationships. I was the worst husband the first few years we were married. The worst. Because I was in a business where I was meant to be selfish. Like as a husband, you're not giving. As a wrestler, you don't give. You're a taker. You're always taking from the people in your life. You're missing funerals. You're missing birthdays. You're missing anniversaries. You're just taking because it's about you. It's about what you want.
So do you think that maybe, like we see a few of them now, like say Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch, for example. Do you think the wrestler and wrestler relationships work a little bit better than the when they both kind of understand each other's lifestyle rather than someone that's dating someone outside of the wrestling business?
I think when you have nothing else to lose, it works. I think when you have nothing to lose, it works better. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? Because it's like, if Becky quit tomorrow, she'd be all right.
That's true.
Financially. But the thing which messed up a lot of people's relationships is the husband would be here. The husband would be here at the beginning, and the girlfriend would be here at the beginning. Yeah. And they'll switch positions. And then, regret and animosity and, well, I'm the breadwinner now. I make more money now. You should listen to what I say. I'm the one who's on the magazines and doing more things. You're just a jobber. Yeah. That mindset would create a friction in the relationship. You know what I'm saying? So
I agree. How do you feel about Sasha Banks? That's a question that's come here.
Yo, honestly, I don't know much about Sasha. Yeah. Because, but everything I see about her, I love. You know what I'm saying? Like, I remember the first time I saw her, he's like, "Oh, this is a chick, she's doing this boss gimmick." And I was like, all right, cool. And then I remember I was playing a celebrity football game. Yeah. And Snoop was like, "Oh, my niece is in the company now." And I was like, "Word?" He's like, yeah. And he told me her name, her real name, and he later on was like, "Oh, they call her Sasha Banks." And I was like, "Oh, that's what's up." He's like, "Yeah, man, she remind me of y'all. She's gonna be doing good." I was like, "Cool." Mind you, at the time I wasn't watching as much. Yeah. But then when I clicked on, I was like, "Oh, they kind of just gave her the hood gimmick." And then I watched the wrestle, and I was like, "Oh, she can go." Hell yeah.
See, I'll say point blank, she's probably my favorite female wrestler at this very time. But not even for her gimmick. It's just that I enjoy watching her wrestle. Like, I enjoy watching her wrestle. Really good. Like, when people are like, "Oh, she's like she looks like she's about to kill," I'm like, "Yeah, it's because she's good at selling." Like, if you look like you're about to kill yourself, it's because she knows what she's doing and she's killing it.
Awesome at selling. She gets you invested into a match. She makes you want to watch, her get beat up. She knows how to draw heat. She knows how to draw emotion. She's a great conductor. She knows how to play the crowd. But it's like, I think that because I've been watching the storyline with her and Bailey. Yeah. And it needs to go somewhere. Yeah. It's cluttering too much. It's like okay. And then
you're preaching to the choir, man. I say that every other week. I feel like they've been pushing it for like 4 years. Them being off and on friends. They need to pull the trigger, and hopefully they do it this year. Eventually, it seems like it's happening now. It's finally. I don't know.
This is the name of the company. They're very rare on pulling the trigger when it's supposed to be pulled. I remember my first tag, one of my tag partners. They call him Tyrus.
Yeah.
Titus. He's Tyrus. Big white guy. And we're in OVW, and we get the call, and Dr. Tom goes, "Hey, I need you guys to shoot a promo video calling yourself the Chain Gang." And we're like, "Okay, cool." He goes, "I want to put you guys, we have an idea to put you guys with John Cena and turn Cena heel." And we're like,
"Wow.
Okay, cool." So we go out, we film promo, right? And, he's a big white guy, I'm a big black guy, both fucking jacked. I'm like 320, he's like 320, 330. And he has played Jacob Duncan in OVW for a while at the end of his career. And so we shoot this thing called the Chain Gang. And we film it in this alleyway. And we're like, "You guys want to make fun of John Cena? We're coming, the Chain Gang." Like remember you used to have the Chain Gang?
Yeah, that was the name of his fans.
Yeah.
Before they became the C Nation and everything went kind of different.
Exactly. So it gets sent up. And after it gets sent up, we're in OVW, and they're like, "Hey, get matching gear now." And we're like, "Okay, well, we have military pants." They're like, "Scrap that. Get matching tights." Okay, so we get matching tights. They're like, "Great, we're tag teaming." Hey, Raw is gonna be Indiana, something like that. We go to Raw. We're up there. We're like, "Oh, this is gonna be our debut. We're gonna debut with John Cena. He's gonna go heel, and he's at a 6'7", 6'7" monsters, one black, one white. We're gonna be like Team Angle, but thugs, right?" Yeah. And so we're loving it. Literally, John comes through, goes, "Yo, what up, guys?" We go, "Hey, what up, John?" He goes, "Not happening."
Wow. I feel like a lot of your stories come to John Cena and something getting crushed when it comes to John Cena.
Oh no,
there's a familiar pattern going on here.
Yeah, we were like, nah. We're like, what? He's like, nah, not gonna happen.
Was that the only occasion they kind of thought of turning John heel? That you know of, or
that I know of? That was the only occasion that I can say I knew of. I heard of other occasions that we were going to turn John heel, and it was like back and forth, and then it was like, John is a moneymaker. He's no more merchandise, so we can't do that. You know what I'm saying? But that's the only one that I knew that I was a part of.
From your perspective, though, because you were there of like the upswing of John Cena, like 05 to like 07, where he was beating everybody and their mom. You were there for that period when that's when most people started like turning on him, because he was beating like Umaga and Edge. He was just beating everybody. Do you think that, in your opinion, being someone that was there for that and then seeing how his career went after that they should have turned him heel at some point?
I don't know, because Steamboat was one of our agents at the time, Ricky Dragon, and I remember we had a conversation. It's funny, we had a tour where I threw up on John. I threw up all over John Cena.
How did that happen?
He deserved it. He got me drunk, and
okay.
And like literally, he did it on purpose. And I took beers from my partner, and I on John. That's considered one of the bus rides from hell.
That's hilarious.
But no. I remember we talked about Steamboat, and Steamboat's thing was he was never healed.
Yeah.
And that John had that much fan support to where he might never, ever have to go heel. But if he ever did, it might hurt the company more than help the business. Because when Hogan went heel, we saw an increase in revenue, fans were going crazy, but we saw a decrease in sales towards kids.
Yeah.
Because you broke their heart. And then the kids who, like, for John is, you understand, he's done more Make-A-Wishes than anybody in history.
Yeah.
Than any celebrity. You can't even catch up to John Cena. I've done 3 Make-A-Wishes with John. Okay? Doing a Make-A-Wish is a heart-wrenching thing. Because there's a 90+ chance the kid you're talking to is going to die.
Yeah.
And John has lost so many kids. He has been their last wish just to meet them.
Yeah.
For John Cena to go heel would cut that supply off towards those kids. Because you can't do Make-A-Wish.
I think that's an aspect that a lot of just wrestling fans that just want to enjoy the wrestling product don't see.
Yeah.
Is that behind the scenes stuff with the Make-A-Wish, with the merchandise, and his connection with children. The thing with Hogan was he went to an entirely different company
Yeah.
That wasn't the company where he was Hulkamania. And it was also a different audience, a different fan base. It was more Southern WCW, where they didn't appreciate the cartoony Hulkamania gimmick anyways that much, to the same extent as it was over in the WWF. And plus, Hulkamania was kind of it needed a change. And I think with John, he was in that same. I think that's another factor people look at. He was in the same company with that same audience. Yeah, I think it would be hard for him to do there.
If John Cena had turned heel in the 2000s, or even the mid 2000s, like 2009, 10, anything like that, even we were still to come up with him, I think it would have hurt the product more than help it.
Yeah.
Because to lose that many fans and that much inspiration, you understand, you can't touch John Cena when it comes to a microphone. He'll make you believe. I've watched him do promos where it's like, they're like, hey, John, this is what we're saying. He goes, yeah, okay, this is cool. I need 2 more minutes, and I'm going to take all this away.
Yeah.
Trust me. And Vince goes, okay, you're on. In 5, 4, 3, and John will pull emotion out of you through the camera and get you invested. You can't, you can't lose that.
Yeah, no, I 100% agree with you. He did that. There's been a ton of times where even I was like anti-John Cena, and he'd cut a promo, and I'd be like, oh, he's making me care about this feud more than I really wanted to because he sucked me in, And sometimes I'd give credit to the person he's feuding, but then I'm like, that person's not really good at promos and stuff anyway, so I must be like...
Yo, that motherfucker has made his worst qualms. Like, he has made burying guys a good thing to the crowd. Yeah. I've heard him cut a promo where he's like, oh, you want to tell me I buried this guy? Well, no, I'm the standard. And he's cut a promo and people are like, yeah, you know what? Screw that guy.
He's turned me so many. Even this last feud with Bray Wyatt, there's times where Cena would come cut a promo and I'm like, yo, that is true. That is true. But then after I have to like shake it off and be like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
John Cena played me again. John Cena just played me
again.
Damn
you, Cena?
Bray Wyatt didn't get the same opportunities. That's not true. Like, wait a minute. He got me. Last John Cena.
Whether you love me, whether you hate me, I am here 24/7, 365, every day of the week for these fans, for you. And you're like, you are here.
Yeah.
I'm not Rock. I didn't go to Hollywood. 3 years later.
He's got me many times. Last John Cena question, because this is a question for me, because I was actually a big fan of it when briefly it was you guys. They kind of put like you and JTG with John Cena to mess with JBL and stuff.
Yeah.
And it was like this cool like. It wasn't like an odd pairing, but like it was at the same time. And I'm like, oh, that would be like a cool little group if you guys were just like full-time John Cena allies. And because John Cena came off that rapping gimmick and he was kind of had that culture, and I'm like, oh, maybe they could bring that Dr. Thugonomics out of him a little bit. It didn't last that long.
Yeah.
But was there any plans for that? Was there bigger plans for you guys to be allies with John Cena in a longer period of time or anything?
So it's funny because I saw I posted a fan thing that a fan made of us as NWO, and I just thought that was cool. I was like, oh, that's so fucking cool. I gotta post that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But so. Originally, nobody told us we were going to be with John. We were just doing our thing, and the way that it was told to me was that we were getting enough spikes in viewership on the turn of the hour in our matches, and through the fan reaction, that the office is like, hey, we need to bump Cryme Time in programming. And at the time, Vince kind of was like, hey, we don't need to pick, we want to put tag titles on you, but we don't need to because you guys are getting over. And we're like, okay, cool, all right, but we're going to put tag titles on you eventually. And we're like, all right, cool. But he was like, but hey, I'm going to put you guys, I got a segue for you guys. We're going to put you with John. And I was like, okay, does John know? And we were like, yeah, John knows. We're going to put you with John. And you're going to do some things with John going against JBL, all this kind of stuff. And we were like, okay, so on the day, we're hearing it, and I'm like, this ain't going to happen. We're not going to go with John. And he was like, yeah, we're not going to go with John. Because we know John, at the time, John was writing with Cody and Ted DiBiase. So they were all writing partners. And so we're like, this is a rib. We're not going to be with John.
Yeah.
And so things start going down the pipeline. You know, we get told by producers, everybody was sitting there. John comes in the meeting. We're sitting there. It's like, okay, Cena, you're going to come backstage, get somebody. who you're gonna get. The two biggest over tag team babyfaces we have right now. They're gonna come out with you guys. They're gonna come out with you. You're gonna beat the shit out of everybody. All right. And it's like, okay, cool. And that was gonna be the end of it for that point, and nothing else was planned further. Right. So TV comes. John. Everything happens to John. Yada yada whoop whoop. He comes backstage. He needs backup. We're in Gorilla. Right before we're in Gorilla, we have our stuff on. Right before we go out, I'm wearing a shirt that I designed and I made that says Shad Gaspard.
Yeah.
Stephanie goes, "Is that our merchandise?" And I go, "No," because I'm selling them on the side.
Yeah.
Because they know they don't own my name.
That's true Cryme Time mentality. Right there.
True Cryme Time mentality. So she goes,
"You're living the gimmick. You're just
living. Oh my God, we live the gimmick so much." So I took the show. She made me take the shirt off. They made Jay take the vest off. They're like, nothing at all. Just go out there and kick ass. And that was the only thing we were going to do that night. We come out with John. The pop we got standing on that stage was so deafening. It's like, even right now, it gives me goosebumps. And when we ran down and we started fighting security and everything went down, the reaction we got when the show cut off was undeniable. Like, I'm getting goosebumps all over my body just thinking about it right now. And I remember going back, John saying, "Good job, boys. Cool." And that was the end of it. And then literally as soon as we got home, they were like, "Hey, travel this week. Matches this week. You guys aren't really working that much against Legacy." We're like, "Okay, what are we doing against them?" There's like, John's going to work handicap matches with them. You're going to come out, stop it. And we're like, "Wait, what's going on?" And so they put us with John, Legacy. And I remember the first, weekend, me and Ted were talking. He was like, "I don't think John wants to do this with you guys." And I was like, "Yeah, we know John. He's not going to be, he doesn't want a group." And so then we're hearing like, "Hey, we might put you guys with Batista." And we're like, "Oh," and at the time, me and Dave were good friends, saying we're all cool. And Dave is like, Dave's from DC. Dave's a street thug.
No. I read his book. I don't know how true it is, but I read his book.
Yeah, Dave is as black as they come, okay? Yeah. So we were all like, "Okay, well, let's experiment with John, and now we're going to go to Batista." You get the TV, and they're like, "No." Vince pulls us in the office. He's like, "Hey, what'd you think about last week?" We're like, "It was cool. It was great." It's like, "Cool. Well, we're going to do it again. And we're going to try to see if this can be a thing." And John wasn't fully on board, but he wasn't fully against it. He walked a real fine line in the middle. And as creatives try to like make it more, John was just riding the ride. But then we kind of saw as it started going along, once we got motivated about it, we saw John just go, hold up. I don't know if I want this.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it's another one of those things where John had to make decisions based on people that he was talking to for John's career. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And if me siding with these two black guys is going to push my career forward, the guys he was getting advice from, basically said, it's not going to help your career for you to be, aligned with these guys. Even though Vince liked it, there were other people in the company that were like, it's not going to motivate your career. It's not going to, you're bringing these guys along more than they're pushing you. And that wasn't the case.
Yeah.
But because their old school mentality dictated that to John. And then John was like, "You know what? I think we've done our course. I think we've run out." Like, I remember we had a match one night, and I'll never deny this. I got so much more experience by being on the apron with John Cena during a month of house shows than I got in a year of OVW.
Yeah.
I got more experience with John on an apron and him teaching me how to listen to the crowd and him calling out my comeback and saying, "Change your comeback now." I go, "What?" He goes, "Don't do this. Don't do it." And I'm like, "Okay." And then I get the hot tag and I come in and I call it to Harry or I call it to Cody or I call it to whoever, and I'm going to my comeback, and John gave me the information and I changed it and I got the crowd more on my side. And I was like, holy crap, this is the business. This is passing information on to one generation to the next. Never denied that. And I remember John put us over, and he was like he was trying to think of a name for it, and he was like CTC was what he came up with. And we were like,
Cryme Time Cena, or
yeah,
okay,
because he was like CCT didn't sound right, CTC sounds right.
So he was kind of on board. It just like he was feeling the vibe. He was kind of feeling it out, but it just never came to when he had to make the decision. He just thought in his best interest, obviously, because it is the wrestling business, that it might not work for the John Cena thing in the long run.
Well, we all go to our advisors.
Yeah.
I will run to Arn Anderson. I would run to Ron Simmons. I will run to Undertaker, Big Show. Those are the guys that I will run to in a heartbeat and be like, hey, Paul, they're doing this with me. And Big Show will like, calm down. This is what you do. This you don't need to do. Hey, Taker, they're doing this with me. Okay, calm down. Same thing. So you run to the guys who are veterans and you ask their advice. The particular veteran that he would go to didn't see it as a good thing for him.
Okay.
You know? And it was like, this is not going to help you. It's not going to benefit you in any way.
Yeah.
They're lucky to be with you. You know what I'm saying?
Sort of like his mentor and who he'd go to for advice and situations and decisions wasn't really on board with it. I will say this, as a fan though, and I was a teenager at the time, and I wasn't a big John Cena fan. I was that guy who was a teenager at the time. Once again, John Cena was great with the kids and the women, but as a teenager, an anti-established teenager in high school during those years, 2000, like from 2007, because I liked John Cena in 2005 when he won the belt and everything, but from like 2007 to like 2011 to when he started feuding with Punk and stuff, I was not a John Cena fan. But I will admit that that's one of the highlights to me was when he did that stuff with you guys. I'm like, oh, this could be cool, and I got excited. So I think as maybe the teenagers, that those people that were anti-Cena at that time, for us, we got excited for it. I can't speak on behalf of all of us, but I feel like we did, because it's like, well, we like Cryme Time, so maybe Cryme Time will make us like Cena. You know what I mean?
You know, it's funny. So it's funny because like NASCAR actually came to us, and they were like, hey, like we were in the locker room, and the officer was like, hey, NASCAR wants you guys, and we're like, what the fuck NASCAR wants with us? And they were like, well, Bernie Mac has a movie out right now with Ashton Kutcher, and NASCAR saw a spike in black viewership. And they came to us and they were like, hey, can we see your numbers and your projections on your talent? And they were like, okay, there's like, who's your most popular African-American talent? And they were like, oh, Cryme Time, by far, is one of our most popular talent. And they were like, great, we want Cryme Time to do something with NASCAR. And so we got told this, and again, we went to John's mentor, John's guy, and it's not a big deal. It's Shawn Michaels, so it's not like I gotta hide it. But Shawn Michaels, who like John would go to, and so we went to Shawn. And prior to this, we had a 3-hour limo ride with Shawn Michaels from Dallas to Houston because a storm had canceled our flight, and we had to drive, like it's like a big sandstorm or something like that, and we had to drive from Dallas to Houston with Shawn Michaels in a limo. And so we had this great rapport with Shawn. And we're like, okay, things are going to be great. And so we go to Shawn, we go, hey, Shawn, we don't know nothing about NASCAR, which can you tell us? And so Shawn just starts dropping information about NASCAR. And we're like, oh, man, this is great. This is great. This is great. All right, cool. And then at the end of it, he goes, what do you guys want to know about NASCAR for? And we go, oh, NASCAR wants to do something with me and JTG. They want us to come to the show. And he goes, you guys? And we go, yeah. He goes, nope, not going to happen. And we go, what? And then Bob Holly chimes in, and he goes, NASCAR wants you boys. And we go, yeah, what's the problem? And then Bob goes, nope, not going to happen. And then they both walk out the room. We're in the trainer's room.
Yeah.
So we're all getting taped up. And so they walk out, and I remember one of the boys going, you boys are fucked up. Like, what do? You asked the wrong guys for advice. We literally got out travel for NASCAR right after TV. I go home. We're supposed to go to a NASCAR event that weekend. Literally, 2 days later, I get a phone call from the office. Hey, Chad, we're going to change your travel a little bit. We're going to send you on the house shows instead, and you're not going to do anything about NASCAR. Now, mind you, that was an extra bump in pay, like maybe $1,000 extra in pay. Okay? Love that. So we get to the house shows, and we're like, why are we at the house shows? Why are we doing this? And John and Cena's not there.
Yeah.
And we're like, what's going on? And Cena flies in. He does first match. He flies right back out. So he wrestles and flies back out. And we're like, where's he going? Like, oh, John has a NASCAR event.
Yeah. I see the connection there too, you know?
And then, like, legitimately, one of the guys in the office was like, yeah, so Sean went into Vince's office and was like, why the hell are the black guys going to NASCAR? NASCAR's not for them. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, he convinced Vince and to go to Johnny and tell Johnny, nope, we don't want to do that. We want to keep the black tag team black. Let's send them to more black events. And it was like, dude, that's an opportunity for us to intermingle with a completely different audience that has a different perspective of us. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But he didn't see it. Same thing. He didn't see a thing for us with John as CT. He didn't see CTC benefiting John.
Yeah.
Which is kind of ironic because I've heard the same thing for him and Paul with DX. He didn't see Road Dogg and Billy benefiting DX, but Paul did.
Yeah. And that's why the moment Sean was out, the New Age Outlaws were in. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting. I guess, yeah, it shows what that does show, though, because a lot of people think it's become more of just the audience of one. It's Vince McMahon mainly, but there still is politics in wrestling. It still is a thing.
It's a thing, man. You got a lot of old school guys who have a really skewed sense of what the fans want. Yeah. Indian fans don't just want an Indian wrestler who's Indian.
Yeah, you know what? Can I speak about that for a second, though? Because as an Indian, and I can speak on this without, there's no way you can call me anything because I'm Indian. I don't like the idea that majority of Indian wrestlers have to be like. I love Jinder Mahal and I love the Singh brothers. I know all of them personally. The Singh brothers are from my hometown. I've known them since they've been working at ECCW, the independent wrestling company here that I go to all the time. Me and Jinder have a really good rapport. We've gotten to know each other. He's always been super cool with me. And
he's a great guy.
He's just a great dude. And I loved everything they've done. And I did love the whole run when Jinder was champion. I loved the whole gimmick and everything. Yeah. But why do Indian wrestlers have to be Indian? You know what I mean? Does that make like, why does an Indian wrestler have to have an Indian themed gimmick and wear a turban and be Indian? Like, why can't an Indian wrestler be like a Randy Orton or a John Cena, who's just a guy who's really good at wrestling and has a different character?
Well, here's the thing. Why does a young white wrestler have to be full of energy and fucking fight? See, it's everybody hates the role they're put in. Yeah. They get in the company. But it's up to you as a performer to change that narrative. When Randy got in, Randy was like, yeah. You know, I'm Randy Orton, and I'm here to fight for you. And then the real Randy is like, oh, fuck you.
Yeah. Well, I always joke around and say that too, like on the TWC show, which I do with my friend Devin. I'm like, yo, if Randy Orton could be like more of the Randy Orton that he is on Twitter that we get to hear. Like, we don't know Randy Orton personally, but real Randy Orton, it lives on Twitter. Like, that person that's on Twitter is real Randy Orton. And he's like a smart ass, the kind of douchey but funny guy. I'm like, why can't he be like that on television? Like, it would be so great.
Because the office doesn't know how you guys are going to react. Real quick, because I know if we get cut off by Instagram Live, do you want to go again for another live?
We'll keep going. Okay,
real quick, do you want to go to some of these questions? Because I see people asking questions.
Oh, yeah.
I can't read them. That's fine.
I want to say one last thing about my last thing that we're just talking about, though. I do really dig what they're doing with Mustafa Ali, because we're considering what his name is and his background, they've made him be a wrestler.
I love that. I think, Mustafa, I think it was one of the most breakout stars I've ever seen. And I think he's amazing. I think he's talented, hardworking. I've seen him for years. And nobody was, like, ever giving him any play because he's Indian. And I'm like, bro, you got to get past this that, if they're not the stereotype of the gimmick. People always get on us for being Cryme Time in the beginning, how we were. Okay. Yeah. Number one, we were the Homeboy Shopping Network from 11 Color. Flat out. If you don't know what the Homeboy Shopping Network from 11 Color is, because you're 20 years old and that show came out in the 80s and 90s, that's on you.
Yeah.
But it's hilarious. Once we got done doing that version of the gimmick, every other iteration of it was just me and Jay. You know what I'm saying? It was just the way we were. But we had to get that out of the way to get where we were going. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Without us doing the base to get in the door, we couldn't do anything else. You know, it's like Samuel L. Jackson playing as an extra, or Samuel L. Jackson playing as a crackhead.
Yeah.
Or Samuel L. Jackson he couldn't play as a sophisticated character until he did all these other stereotypical roles. Thug, crackhead, gangster. You know what I mean? People got to understand the gimmick you're given isn't necessarily what you're going to stay with your entire career.
No, for sure. And it's up to you to kind of take liberties and try things out and see if you'll get in trouble, I feel like.
Baron Corbin was thinning his hair.
Yeah.
He shaved the balls. Finally, guess what? Way more over right now doing 4 moves than he would have been doing 10 moves, because you watch his NXT stuff, the guy is fucking amazing.
Yeah.
He's amazingly smooth for a big guy.
I would love to talk to you about Baron Corbin for 10 minutes, but let's answer some of these questions because there are questions here. But Baron Corbin for me is such an interesting topic because I'm not a huge Baron Corbin fan, but I also understand why Baron Corbin is Baron Corbin. I think a lot of wrestling fans don't. But Shad, dream match for you with anyone in the WWE today?
Singles or tag team?
Both. Let's go 1 for 1.
Tag team, I would see us versus me and Jay versus Street Profits versus Usos versus New Day in a ladder match.
That'd be money. I would love that. And honestly, when you said New Day, you said Street Profits and Usos, those are 3 matches I'd love to see you guys have just regular tag matches against each one of those teams. But putting them all together in a ladder match?
Put them all together in a ladder match.
Yeah.
Put them together in a ladder match, we'll all shine.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, you know what? Would I add Mr. Morrison? I would add Mr. Morrison, but I kind of like those 3 teams, I feel accent us a lot better.
Yeah.
But I love John. I love Mike. Seriously.
How about singles?
Singles. Me versus I would say Bobby Lashley.
Yeah.
But in all honesty, I would love to work Drew. Because I've known Drew forever. You know what I'm saying? And we're both like big guys, you know what I'm saying? But either Drew or Baron Corbin. I would love to work Baron Corbin in like a straight match. Like even if it's a hardcore match. Because I like guys that can get rough. I can get rough with, and I can go, and they react back. It's like, oh, fuck yeah. You know what I'm saying? We bring like we level up each other. So yeah.
I'm gonna ask you one more question, and we'll end this one because we're getting the 1 minute 20-second countdown.
Oh shit!
And then we'll start again. But last question for this, just because most of the live stream we did talk about it, and that person. Do you still talk to John Cena?
Every now and then.
Okay. That was the question. So guys, I'm gonna actually end this one right now and save it, so I make sure it saves before it cuts us off and doesn't let me save it. I do want to say once again, we're live on Instagram this week, but next week we're going to go live on.
Shout out.
Huh?
My boys at Cactus League Wrestling.
Yeah, we'll be back. We'll be back in a second. We'll be live again. I just want to say we did it live on Instagram this week. Next week we'll be doing it live on YouTube. I'm gonna try to save this and share it on YouTube anyways. I think we had a great conversation right now. But I'm gonna start this live again. We'll be right back, guys. Just bear with us.
Nice.
Round 2. So you know what? If we were to do a podcast, like that whole last hour was great. And that could have just been. You literally could have named that.
But you know what's crazy? And this is the thing. Like, I'm very like, I don't like to talk about myself. Yeah. Like most people that I talk to, they know every last. They know most of my stories. They know who I am. They know about my past. But I don't really like talk to a lot of people all the time. Yeah. So talking to you is like my wife said to me. She was like, when she came through, she gave me a massage gun. She was like, yeah. She was like, that's the guy you're doing the podcast with, right? I was like, yeah. She was like, yeah, that sounds natural.
Yeah.
That sounds honest. She's
that
like,
whole last episode could have been called like a John Cena Cryme Time episode. That was great. CTC right there. No, but we're back for round 2, guys. Ask me anything with Shad Gaspard. Thank you, Abdullah. Said y'all look great. I shaved my beard.
I saw somebody said something now. I could have sworn some of my boys in here now.
A couple of them were. There were a couple of verified people in here that said, that's my boy Shad. And I was like, I don't want to interrupt this story, but you got some friends in here.
Who was verified? Was it Terry Crews?
I don't know who it was, but hey, man, they're welcome. Hey, Shad. Oh, this guy was asking this question actually in the previous stream, but I didn't want to cut you off from what we were talking about.
Yeah.
This guy here named Saxo1203. We kind of talked about it in our last casual conversation, guys. It's on my YouTube channel and on the TWC show stream. But I'll ask you again because, like I said, and I mentioned in that episode, like I do have a lot of people that follow me that are aspiring wrestlers and whatnot. This guy's asked this question a handful of times, but he said, "Hey Shad, any advice for a 16-year-old trainee wrestler?" 16.
Yeah. You're 16. Go get some girls.
Yeah.
No, honestly, man, I try to tell most guys the truth. Like, do you guys remember Mr. Hughes?
Yeah.
Came out with Jericho, 2000, big black guy.
He's around in the 90s like, too, wrestled like Taker and stuff and Raw.
Yeah. He was like big. So I used to go to the gym called Running Street in Atlanta, and I used to also box at Gleason's in Brooklyn, and Mr. Hughes was the first guy that I went to, and I was like, hey, I think I want to be a wrestler, and I was like 16, 17 years old, and he was like, no, don't do it. You know, he goes, you're a big kid, keep on fighting, keep on boxing, keep on doing your thing, don't become a pro wrestler. And he like just shit on me for it, and I was like, oh, okay. Cool. And then I was in New York, and I'm boxing at Gleason's, and Johnny Rods, who is I've known Johnny Rods since I was like 9 years old.
Yeah.
And I used to see all the ECW guys come in, but I didn't know who they were. I just knew they were wrestlers. I didn't know them by name. And Johnny knew my dad. And so then I was in Gleason's, and I'm training, and I'm like 19. And I was like, yo, you know what? I'm gonna go to Johnny Rods and talk to Johnny Rods. And so he said, hey, what's up, Johnny? He's like, hey, what's up, kid? How you doing? I was like, hey, so I've been watching you guys in the ring over there on the side. I want to be a wrestler. Johnny fucking slams his desk, says, get the fuck out of here. Your father will kill me. And I was like, why? He's like, kid, you're gonna be world champion. He goes, I see you boxing. You're a fighter. He goes, stick to fighting, stick to boxing. Don't go for this business. And he like literally looked around for my dad, closed the door, and sat down with me and showed me all these wrestlers from Tommy Dreamer to Taz to Hugh Morris, all the guys that he trained. And he told me all their backstories. And I remember he told me a story about these 2 tall, 7 foot, these tall guys. And he got paid to train them. And they had all the talent and the size and look, but they didn't love the business.
Yeah.
And so the point of Johnny's story was, you just want to wrestle. You don't love the business. Stick to fighting, kid. And from that period until I went on and did Tough Enough, and until I went to OVW, I gained the respect and love of the business that I didn't have as a teenager who just wanted to do it.
Yeah.
So if you're going to do this, learn about it. Love it. Not just for the shit, not just for the good parts, but for the shitty parts. Okay?
Know it from all angles.
Yeah.
And you actually mentioned that in our first conversation that we had that is on YouTube and on the TWC show stream on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. You mentioned that even like when you were in OVW, like the biggest thing that Cornette made you guys do was watch the old school wrestling, watch the guys that were wrestling came from, and make sure that you guys understood how you guys got to where wrestling is today before you started actually learning to wrestle, because he wanted you to appreciate and understand the business.
Yeah, and I'll be the first to say it. Fuck Jim Cornette.
Yeah.
Cornette will be like, fuck you too,
motherfucker. Yeah.
But in all honesty, Jimmy has a brain and a passion and a love for this business like no other. Do I agree with him on everything in his life? No. Okay? I tell my wife all the time, we'll see a guy with a dog, and she'll be like, oh, what a cute dog. He's a nice guy because he has a dog. I'm like, that guy probably fucking jerks off horses and pigs fucking. I don't know. But just because you like one part about somebody doesn't mean, you have to agree with them on everything they do in life.
No, 100%.
Yeah. As far as wrestling goes, Jim Cornette has a brain like no other. And you got to respect the guy's dedication to the business, passion for the business. I just watched Dark Side of the Ring, and they talking about the Brawl for All.
Yeah.
And I got taken back because Dr. Death trained me.
Okay, I didn't. Okay.
That's one of the guys that trained me in OVW, right? And me and Doc, I love Dr. Death. Okay, that's my brother. When Doc passed, I lost a part of me. If you watch any of my old OVW stuff, you'll see me doing things that Doc trained me to do, which was like I would run a guy in the corner come out the corner and sidewalk slam him.
Yeah.
Kind of like he showed me so many things. And I remember the girls are running the ropes, right? And I'm sitting at the desk. OVW has arena, there's a desk, and there's a ring. And, you know, when you're over, you get to sit at the desk with the trainer. Yeah. So at the time, I was there for 2 years. I was over. And so I'm sitting there with Doc, and Doc's like, okay, girls, run the ropes, hit the ring, blah, 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 blah. And then one of the girls takes a bump, and she's bouncing. He goes, yes, good, Tasha. Keep on bouncing just up and down like that. And he comes to me, he goes, kid, the things I would do to that one.
Oh, man.
But it's like, Doc was just that crazy. Like, he would say things, he'd be like, I got to go to the bathroom because I'm getting a woody.
So funny.
But I watched the Brawl for All, and I watched how Jimmy and them talked about how Doc lost his opportunity.
Yeah.
And as bad as I felt for Doc losing his opportunity and so many guys' careers getting sidetracked and sideswiped, you guys missed the whole thing of Bart Gunn earning an opportunity and you not running with it.
Yeah.
You know, that was legit.
Instead they wanted to crush him because they didn't like how it played out. Like, realistically, that's how I took it. They put him with Butterbean because they're like, now we have to kill this guy.
Yeah. And Bean, like Butterbean's one of my boys. And Bean even told me, Bean said, Vince goes to him and goes, I'll give you extra if you knock him out in 30 seconds. Don't even go to the second round. Bean was like, Mr. McMahon, this ain't gonna happen. Like, Bean's a great guy.
Yeah.
He's a fighter. You're a prize fighter. You fight for money. That's what we do. Okay? Yeah, I can fight legit, like street fight, whatever. Guess what? I ain't fighting nobody without any money.
Yeah.
You pull up a card to me and go, hey, fuck you, nigga. I go,
yeah.
I can beat your ass, but I'm not getting paid for it, so I'm not doing it. The thing that irks me with Jimmy and some of those guys is they have plans for your career. But if you meet up and supersede their plans, that is a problem.
Yeah.
So sky's the limit. But if you break that limit, we don't look at that and go, maybe the stars should have been the limit for this guy. We go, damn it, that guy broke the limit.
Yeah.
Punish him for that. Punish him for that. You know? And that's what I felt like a lot of guys who broke their molds, they got punished for it. You know, I remember like, I love Shelton Benjamin, and Shelton's my brother for life. Shelton hates his match with Shawn Michaels.
Why? The one with the super kick?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
But I'll like, that's not my story to tell. That's Shelton's story to tell. But what I can say on it is, watch how amazing Shelton Benjamin is in that match. Watch how precise, on point, timing, everything Shelton Benjamin is in that match. And then watch Shelton's career go from a great match to loss for how many months?
Yeah.
You would think when a guy has a great match like that, he's being pegged to be the next champion. Why not?
Yeah, it's almost like they have a plan for you, and regardless how good you are or how much you break out of the mold of what you're doing or you stand out, unless you're part of that plan, it's most likely not going to happen. You could almost say it's kind of similar to how over Rusev Day got last year. And everyone was behind Rusev Day, and the fans were behind Rusev Day. Merchandise was selling. It became like the biggest thing. WrestleMania 34 New Orleans. I was there live. That Fatal 4-Way where Jinder won the belt. Rusev was the most over guy in that match. But at the end of the day, never panned out to be anything. One match with AJ Styles, the WWE Championship, which was a good match, and that was it. Yeah. You know?
Funny thing. I've known him. I know Rusev because my wife's Bulgarian.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Yeah.
Yeah, so he trained with Rikishi, so I've known him forever and a day. And it was funny because at that Mania after party for WrestleMania, I pull up, I park outside the hotel, I get out the car, I take 2 steps, and there's Rusev with a little dog on a leash picking up poop, and I go, word, and he goes, shit. He goes, of all the people to see me doing this. I go, oh, I'm going to use this shit. He goes, God damn it. I took the back door. I went out the side entrance and everything.
Oh man, I've never got to properly meet him, but I've heard he's like a really funny guy.
Funny as hell, greatest guy ever.
I honestly see him having. I think from what I have seen of him, like outside of wrestling or what I've heard of him, because I know people like yourself and others who are friends with him and tell me stories. And like, this guy definitely has an acting career in the future if he wants it.
He can do whatever he wants.
Yeah.
The thing about it is that again, he broke the mold. He broke the. I'm the foreign guy with a weird accent. Hate me. I'm the foreign guy with a weird accent. But I'm fucking charming as shit.
Yeah. He got over in his own way when it wasn't happening. But to their credit to the WWE, because I don't want to make it seem like they don't ever listen to their fans or they don't when people do break them all. We have seen cases like Daniel Bryan where they couldn't fight off the momentum as much as they tried. They were going to go with Batista versus Randy Orton, but they knew Punk walked out, a bunch of stuff was happening, and they're like, okay, what are we do with this Daniel Bryan thing? And obviously another instance is just last year with Kofi Mania. There was no way for them to get over that.
I got heat. I got heat 4 years ago, or was it 4 or 5 years ago? Because I said, if Kofi Kingston isn't a WWE champ at some point in his career, then you know this business is full of shit.
Yeah.
And I got fans who were like, "Oh, you saying the business is racist?" I didn't say that. But do you understand the level of good Kofi has been consistently?
Yeah, that's a key word there, consistently.
Consistently and entertaining. I can argue with some people and they're like, oh, Shelton Benjamin. I bring out Shelton's comedy because I'm a friend. But the way Shelton is with me, isn't the way Shelton is with everybody else on TV or a match. He doesn't want to smile with everybody. He doesn't want to talk with everybody. You know what I'm saying? But I'll say things to Shelton in a promo. If you watch us with Charlie and Shelton, that's the most entertaining sometimes they are, is because they know they can be stupid with us because we're all family.
Yeah.
But it's like he's not allowed to be crazy and fun with other. I would love to see Keith Lee versus Shelton Benjamin.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because
there's a lot of people I'd love to see face Shelton Benjamin because I've always thought Shelton Benjamin, I still remember his matches when he was in Team Angle and when he first broke off, when he was beating Triple H and stuff. I'm like, yo, this guy's great. Some of the first Money in the Bank matches, Shelton Benjamin was the highlight reel of those matches.
Oh, he's the highlight of it.
Yeah.
And it's the thing. People only go, the Money in the Bank matches. You can freaking watch a tag match where they're like the 5th tag team in a match. Shelton stands out.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, I was just watching a match we had it was like us, the Highlanders versus Shelton and Cade and Murdoch. And Shelton came in and did one move, a boot. But when he did it, he does it so well, you can't miss it.
Yeah.
It's one move. He got one move, one real move in the entire fucking match. But it's so good. You know what I'm saying? You can't teach that. So it's a frustrating thing, but it's one of those themes that's going to always be a part of wrestling.
And they did have moments where we got to see a little bit of Shelton's comedic side and stuff too, like when they brought in Shelton's mama, and we went through all of that.
That chick was a heat magnet. You have no idea.
That woman, she was a real life actress, right?
She's a real. I've met her a couple of times.
Yeah,
she was a heat. She drew so much heat on Shelton because Shelton is so opposite of getting heat. It kind of balanced out.
Yeah,
but it would be ridiculous amounts of heat she'd bring in his direction. She'd be like, yeah, so.
I don't know. I will always love Shelton Benjamin's mama. That was one of the highlights of that period for me. It was a great little run there. But yeah, man. Someone else. Let me see what else is.
Yeah.
When are we gonna see you back? Last Mania weekend was too much fun to see you back in the ring. What's a fantasy booking scenario live show when live show? If you were to come back, what would be a fantasy booking scenario for a live show if you were to come back? I don't know. Is there someone?
You know what? His thing. We talk with the company.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We talked with the company. They talked with us. We were actually going to trademark our name, and we started the process of trademarking Cryme Time last year, right? And in the process of us trademarking Cryme Time, my lawyer he calls me and he goes, hey, there's some problems coming up. I'm like, what's the problem? He's like, WWE. Like, they dropped the name like 2 years ago. We waited 2 years. Let's trademark the name. He's like, yeah, WWE's saying they want the name back. And we're like, okay. So rather than go on the dirt sheets and, you know, go on Twitter and vent.
Complaining about it, yeah.
Yeah. I called the office. I go, hey, what are you guys doing with the name Cryme Time? And they're like, what do you mean? It's like, you guys, we're trying to trademark our name. You guys want it? And they're like, oh yeah, by the way, yeah, you know, we're thinking about bringing.
Oh, now that you bring it up.
now that you brought it up.
Yeah.
Now that we know you know it. We're thinking about bringing you guys back. And we're like, conversation went, okay, let's start negotiating. And that's the process. You know? Yeah. It's like we talk, we listen. When Enzo and Cass were there, right, which is a while back ago, immediately we went to an event and they were like, hey, what do you think of Enzo and Cass? And I was like, I don't know nothing about either one of them. Come to Staples Center. We're doing something we're coming to Staples Center. We'll get some tickets for you, the kid. I'm like, okay, cool. We're coming to Staples Center, watching the basketball game, and there's Enzo. And I'm like, huh, I know what they're doing. Hey, what's up, man? How you doing? Shad, very nice to meet you. We get the introduction. We start to talking. Seem like a nice guy. Great. Would you guys think about working them? Yeah, let's see what's up with it. Great. Let's start working out. Cass gets injured. Okay. Enzo gets injured. Okay. Now they're splitting for no reason. Negotiations stop. That's how it works.
Yeah.
It's no big mystery. You know what I'm saying? If they have something that's going good, they say, who can we bring back and who do we have to work with these guys and make it even better?
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
So were you guys able to trademark the name after that wasn't?
No. And it was one of those things where, like, I even said to them, like, we talked and it's like, they're like, hey, at any point, we really want to bring you guys back at some point, do something with you guys. I'm like, okay, great. That sounds cool. But we need to fucking structure our shit.
No, for sure. Have you guys ever had the opportunity to maybe, you know, with on the Triple H end side of things and the Performance Center and that stuff, have you guys ever been given the opportunity to go in there and possibly do like a training session with the younger talent?
I wouldn't do it. That's the thing. Yeah, because I met a lot of the guys at Dusty's funeral.
Yeah.
And my initial impression from a lot of the guys at the time was they don't want to learn. They want to succeed. And people don't understand that. There are two different mindsets. Wanting to learn creates success.
Yeah.
Wanting to succeed creates falsehoods. You know what I'm saying? If you want to learn, you'll succeed. It's just going to take time. But if all you want to do is succeed, you're just trying to find a shortcut to get to where you want to go. Oh, I need to have muscles. Pump up. Oh, I need to have cool gear. Let me buy the coolest shorts and get this gear and get all this stuff on me. Great. Hey, get in there and work a 5-minute match. Yeah, I can do that. Pause. You got 2 more minutes. Huh? You got 2 more minutes in your match now. No, fuck that. I'm going home. What did you do out there? Well, you guys, I don't know. You didn't learn. You didn't learn to wrestle. You didn't learn to work a crowd. You didn't learn to be you. You didn't learn the parts of this business that are going to make you great. All you did was strive for success and put on a layer that looks pretty, but there's no substance inside. That's not the business.
Yeah.
That's not wrestling. The difference between John Cena and a muscle-up guy in NXT who has a better body than John Cena is John Cena makes you care.
No, that's fair.
So what if that guy looks good? I've heard so many guys go, oh, this guy, he's got muscles, he's big, he snarls, he's angry. But does he make anybody care about him?
Yeah, they invested in who he is.
I'm 6'6". I'm 6'6", and TJ is kicking my ass, and the crowd is booing the little guy for kicking the big guy's ass. That's why I'm successful.
Yeah.
Because I learned how to be Hulk Hogan. The big guy that gets his ass kicked and then
has to come back.
Fires back up.
Yeah.
I make that little guy so important, make him so good. These guys don't do that. They don't want to learn. They just want to be successful. They just want the money. I want cars.
That's such an interesting concept, yeah.
You know? Baron Corbin, that dude learned.
Yeah.
That dude didn't want to be successful. He learned. He watches, he listens, he told doing things.
He told a really good story. I might have been on Corey Graves' podcast after the battle. Shout out to Corey Graves. But I think he told a story about
I love Corey Graves, by the way.
Oh, he's a dope dude, man. He followed the page and we've talked a few times. He's always been super nice to me. I used to jokingly online, it's like a gimmick, I used to like flirt with Carmella in her comment section. And then I met him at WrestleCon, the same one I met you at. And he's like, I feel like I've seen your name somewhere. Like, and at that time, they were still like a new couple. And I'm like, oh, he probably knows this dude that comments the funny stuff on Carmella's posts that Carmella likes, because me and Carmella are cool. But I didn't know they were dating. And then this guy's like, I feel like I recognize your username from somewhere. And I'm like, But no, he's a dope dude. But Baron Corbin on Corey Graves' podcast, I think he summed it up. He's like, you can't come into this business with a big ego and thinking, you know, it's easy or whatnot. He's like, I came from being an athletic football player. Like I played football. I thought, oh, wrestling, I can do this. This was easy. He's like, as we were training, we started doing, you know, I don't know what it's called. You'll know what it's called when they're doing like the drills where it's like leapfrog, drop down, et cetera, right?
Drop down, leapfrog, hip toss, kick up.
Yeah. He's like, I don't know what it's called. I'm not a wrestler. I don't know anything. But he said as they were doing that, he blew up, and he's like that's when he realized, oh, this isn't that easy. And then he started taking it more seriously, where he wanted to learn how to do it to the extent where the good guys were really good, because this was harder than it looked. I think some people just need that hit of reality sometimes. I don't know. Maybe that's part of it.
And that's the thing I tell everybody coming into it. Ric Flair, we were drinking one night, and he goes, I never stopped learning. I never stopped. Like I remember, we were all just sitting there, just talking, just picking Rick's brain, and Rick's like, boys, I don't stop learning. He goes, the day I stop learning is the day I need to quit. He goes, I learn something new every day. He goes, God damn that Cena. Fucking had me fucking sitting there doing moves and doing things I never even thought about. I'm like, you don't hear that.
Yeah.
You are Ric Flair.
And at that point,
you're telling me that you're now a tag champion with Roddy Piper, and you're still learning?
Yeah. And that was what?
Still learning?
Like 2006. How far in Ric Flair's career was that? And he's saying,
come on.
Yeah.
You're telling us that you're learning. I remember when Rick got on Cameo, because my boy's the owner of the company. Yeah. And Rick's learning. He was like, boys, there's a new way to make money. It's called this like a Cameo thing. And then I'm like, Rick, I got everybody else on. Yeah, we know. Yeah. But he's like, he just has, he has this openness to learn. He's always learning. If you ask Steamboat about his matches with Rick, he's like, bro, I called. Rick said, I never thought of that. And he goes, why not? Just never popped in my head. Let's try it. We're going hour matches, back to back. Sometimes no camera, just to get the learning in there. Yeah. So many guys want to put on the gear, stand on the ramp, open up to the crowd, and get the adulation, but not do the sacrifice it takes to get that. You know? Yeah. It takes a lot of fucking hard work to get that shit, man. I remember my best friend, Paul Enormous, big guy from Jersey. We both got signed at the same time. We both got heat at the same time, our first month in OVW. Tom Pritchard comes down. We're sitting there, big guys, and Tom goes, Beast, Paulie, there's no reason you two should be on the road tomorrow with the way you look. And I just felt the Doug Basham, the Nick Dinsmore, and all the other guys who had been in OVW for 5 years look at me and say, fuck you. Yeah. And then it was torture after that. Yeah. Getting beat up day in and day out. I remember we didn't eat meat, like any type of meat, for a week. Wow. And I had the idea, and we're in our apartment, we're outside our apartments, and we're doing pull-ups on the banisters outside the apartment. And Paulie goes, yo, dude, we got to eat some rice after this because I need to eat. And I was like, yeah, we're going to get some carbs. He's like, man, I just want some chicken or some steak. And I'm like, you know what? I got an idea. And so it's like 11 in the morning, 12 in the morning, 12 in the afternoon. We start running from our apartments. And the mall is like 4 miles away. And so we're running and we're walking on the side of the road because we didn't want to put in the gas. We didn't want to use our gas. And so we run to the mall. We stand in the doorway of the mall and we dry off the air conditioning thing for like about 5 minutes. We dry off. We put our shirts back on. We walk into the mall. We go to the food court. And I say, follow my lead. And we go around and we go, what kind of chicken is that? General Tso? Can I have a sample? Thank you. No, let me try that one. No, let me try that one. No. Okay, next day. We went around the whole thing eating chicken and sampling for like an hour.
Yeah.
And then fucking I was like, how much meat you got? He goes, that's the most meat I've eaten in almost a week and a half.
That's crazy.
2 weeks. And that's what we had to do just to be down there. And mind you, I'm a bodyguard. I was bodyguard Puff Daddy and Mike Tyson. He's fucking bouncing in nightclubs in New Jersey and New York. And he's been wrestling for years. And we're in a mall struggling to get food. Yeah, we love this shit. I think it was after that, guys like Doug and them, they were like, these guys really want it. We saw so many other big guys come in and just flop out. 7-footers. I'm going to be the biggest thing in the world. Word, dude. Run the ropes. Ba, 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 ba. I'm done. We haven't even started doing drills yet. I know. I'm done. Okay. Let's do one. I remember they had all Tough Enough guys come in. They wanted to partner with Justice Smith. I like Justice. I see he was a great guy. Justice started working out at the arena. And Tommy's like, hey, we're going to put you in a tag team with Justice Smith. I said, okay, great. 1 week of actual training, Justice was like, I'm out of here. I'm going back to Hollywood. He's like, what you guys are doing is fucking crazy. You got to love this. If you don't, it doesn't matter how good they look. If they don't really, truly, and I don't mean success love this. It's easy to love this business when you're being successful. It's hard to love this business when you're being shitted on, booed, called nigger, called fucking every name in the fucking book. And then you still have to get up and perform again and again and again.
No, 100%. You need to have that love that won't make you give up. There's a handful of questions I want to ask you.
Let's go.
For the person that was asking about The Undertaker, we did talk about him a lot in the first episode. There's a really cool story there. I'm not going to make Shad tell it all over again, but if you want to hear The Undertaker story, you can go to my YouTube channel and go to the TWC show and listen to my casual conversation with Shad. Maybe
you know what? Fuck it. We're going to start doing a podcast, right?
Yeah.
We're going to do a podcast. Let's try to do it every, I want to say Friday.
Yeah. But
then we can't comment on SmackDown. But I'm fine with that.
That's okay. That's okay, because we have a lot to talk about otherwise. And
Fridays
you've been saying things that I so badly want to ask you about, but I'm like, maybe we should rate it and theme the episode just on that, because I'm like, Snoop Dogg, Puff Daddy, Mike Tyson. Wait a minute, we got stories here.
We got so much stuff to work
that I want to know about. Like, what is your relationship with Snoop Dogg? What is this Puff Daddy thing? There's a part of me there's a Tupac post on our wall. There's a part of me that loves that too. But like, we'll get there eventually.
Hey, you know what's funny? During this quarantine, I've had a lot of time to evaluate. Because remember, I never want to do I've had so many guys who be like, yo man, you gotta write a book. I'm like, yeah, Jay wrote a book, and 90% of his book is how I survived being around Shad.
Yeah.
And if you're ever around Shad, you're gonna have a book to write.
That's hilarious.
But it's like I'm not this open in my life. You know what I'm saying? So doing a podcast to me seems like at this point we're in quarantine, and we're probably gonna be in quarantine for another month.
Yeah.
Let's have some fun with it.
We got some gems coming. But there were some questions I do want to ask you that people asked.
Right.
We're still on the wrestling related stuff. Maybe we'll do a whole hip hop related bodyguard years with Shad. Maybe just on the one that we shoot next week or something. But Dusty Rhodes, you were at his funeral. I'm curious about your relationship with Dusty Rhodes and if he had any influence on you.
Dusty, man. I love Dusty so. Like I love Cody.
Yeah.
Like Cody, I love. You know what I'm saying? I love Cody Rhodes. That's my brother for life.
Yeah.
We were married in the ring forever. Before that, I just love Cody. I can tell you so many Cody stories out of my act.
Yeah. We got another whole episode right there, the Cody Rhodes episode. Go on.
One gem, I'll tell people. And it's hilarious. And so Cody comes to OVW. Cody was actually acting in LA, and he going to act school with Howard Fine. And I kind of knew of Howard Fine through mutual friends, through DDP, Diamond Dallas Page. And I got a chance to meet Howard, and Howard was like, oh, one of my students, Cody, is going there. And I was like, oh, this is great. So me and Cody got to meet. I didn't care who Cody's dad was at all. You know what I'm saying? I just like Cody as a person. And Cody as a person is like, you know, just we're huggers. Yeah. You know, we're huggers. We're like, we love being around each other. And so Cody had that, you know, young white guy lift back from the eyes. Kind of emo, kind of cool. Yeah, that look. So when we go out in Louisville, I would take care of everybody. You come to Louisville, Kentucky during that time period, and I got everybody in every club because I bounced up some of the clubs, and I got everybody to every single club, every VIP. I took care of everybody. So we all go out. Cody comes out. Cody meets this girl, cute girl, gets to their place, and you know, Cody being Cody, he's like, "Hey man, what are these girls out here like?" He's like, "Oh, you know, he just take me to the crib, play some music, get in the mood." He's like, "Oh, I got this new CD changer." Yeah. So we're like, "Oh, blast that out, knock it out, put it on shuffle, and there you go. You gonna get it." He's like, "All right." So he gets the girl. She comes by the house, puts it on shuffle. They start making out. They start doing their thing. You know what I'm saying? He's trying to hit it, and then he's like, "Yeah, all the music's playing." So the next day he comes through. He's like, "So how was it?" He's like, "Oh man, it's all good. Music's playing. Ambiance is all great. You know, tapping it up." And all of a sudden, you hear, "Your time is now. Your time is now." "You can't see me. Your time is now." And we go, "What'd you do?" He was like, "Your time is now. You can't see me."
Oh my God.
We're like, "What were you doing?" He's like, "Man, I borrowed a CD from somebody and it had all the WWE themes on it. And it's just and we were just dying laughing. And we were like, he's like, "Yeah, I just kept on going, man."
It's so sad because I feel like
I didn't even lose a stride. I just kept on going, bro.
It's so sad because that seems like something that would happen to me because I usually go in my car and I leave my iPhone on shuffle and there are a couple of wrestling theme songs on my playlist. And I can see that happening where my iPod's in shuffle and I let someone choose the music and John Cena's music plays and I'm like, I don't know.
We should like, you see those memes where it's like the psychopath comes in the house, the knife, and the girl's hiding. And he's like, "Let's go." And he goes, "You think you know me?" On this day. We used to do that all the time. Like, we go to restaurants and we do that all the time. Like, we sit there like, have an order of cheese sticks and "You think you know me?" On this day, I see clearly.
Oh, it's a great theme song, dude. That was honestly Edge's return this year. Like, if it wasn't that theme song, dude, I don't even know if it would feel the same way it did. Because when you heard that, "You think you know me," I think every fan that's been around as a fan for a long period of time when Edge was actually active, like, that hit home, man.
Dude, it's one thing. But no, when I started Me Loving Dusty, so Dusty. So after I got sent to FCW, right? Basically, I got told by Mark Henry and Big Show, they were like, "Hey, this is a test. They're testing you right now because you've been doing really good. You and Glenn have been having great matches on the road, right?" And
Kane is
Kane. Sorry, Kane. You guys have been having good matches on the road, and they're pegging you to win a title. So because of that, you're going to get this hate, and they're testing you. They did it to me. They did it to Mark. Mark's like, yeah. They sent it to OVW. Mark Henry was in OVW for God knows how long. So was Big Show. They were in OVW for like 3-4 years. And mind you, they're getting paid millions of dollars to be in OVW.
Yeah.
Because they were like, because people on the road badmouthed them. But they had to pass that test. So they were like, hey, you just go down there, get in the best shape possible, keep on progressing, do what you got to do. When I got down there, Dusty, who had already known me from OVW, known me from being on the road, he was actually my agent in like several of my matches, right? He pulls me in the office. He goes, they want me to wash you out. I go, okay, what does that mean? He goes, basically, son, somebody has it in for you. Now, we know it's Cena. Dusty was like, I know the politics. That ain't going to happen. He goes, you're going to fucking cut the best promos you've ever cut in your life. You're going to cut the best promos on promo day. You're going to have the fucking best fucking training days. Those cameras are on 24/7. You're going to come here early. You're going to leave late. You're going to be out of here in 2 months. I guarantee you. I want you to help put the ring up. He goes, I'm your ally. Norman's your ally. Steve's your ally. Watch out for Tom Pritchard. And I was like, God damn. Ain't nobody ever come to me on some real shit like that. Dusty just sat me down, told me who my friends were, who my enemies were, and what I needed to do. And I came in, I did my thing. And every day I come in, I train my ass off, fucking do what I got to do. Tom would try to get me confused on things, and I'd be like, be clear, cool. At one point, Dusty pulled me into his office, and he said, I need you to kill it today in promo class. They want to send this video up to the office. I said, okay, great, cool. So we sat down, and he's like, what can you talk about? I go, you know what? I want you to ask the crowd, what can I talk about? He goes, you want to do improv? I said, I've been working on my acting. He goes, all right. Got in the ring, took suggestions, 1 minute promo, 5 points, put them together, 10 seconds, cut it. The camera was rolling the entire time. Nailed that shit. Got a standing ovation from everybody. Got out the ring, they sent him to the office. Kid, you're killing it in promo class. You're doing a good job. Okay? They're still trying to wash you out. Still trying to fucking test you. We need you to stay down there for 3 more months. Fine. Stay down there for 3 more months. Here comes Seth Rollins. I love Seth. I knew Seth's career on the Indies. Seth is a machine. He goes. At the time, I'm a 290-pound monster. I don't go like that. I go at my pace. They put me in the ring with Seth. Cameras on all the time. Dusty said they're going to try to get Seth to blow you up.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like, Tom was going to have Seth blow you up. Do what you got to do.
Yeah.
They're cool. We get in the ring, me and Seth. This is not televised. We're going. Seth is doing what he's told by Tom. He's going like a machine. Mind you, I don't fault Tom for this. He's doing his job.
Yeah.
His job is to survive. Okay? We start going. We're going. Seth's going. And finally, I grab Seth. I take him down. I hold him. I start squeezing him for real. I go, hey, I like you. Don't get to the point where I stop liking you.
Yeah.
I will fucking kill you right here, right now. And I let him go, and I shoot him off. And I say, duck. He ducks. He calls me. Boom. He starts selling now. Now he slows down.
Yeah.
Dusty goes, that's what they wanted from me. They don't want me to try to play their game. I need to establish myself. Office watch, you're there for 3 more months. Fuck, my son is brand new, born.
Yeah.
Finally, after 3 months go by, Dusty's like, okay. Kern's like, okay, we got the okay. We've done everything you need to do. I'm lean. I'm 285 pounds, lean abs. I'm wearing trunks. I'm wearing shorts. I wrestled Roman. I wrestled a bunch of other guys. They partnered me up with Titus. And at the time, me and Titus did not get along at all. And I made our match look good. You know what I'm saying? I did everything they want. I go home, enjoy your kid. I go home and enjoy my son for about a month. I'm getting all the updates, and I'm coming back on the road. I don't want to go back.
Yeah.
Dusty called me. You did all this for this. Why not? Got this kid, man. I love this kid. He literally talked to me and explained to me all the things he did as a father and all the things he missed as a father with Cody and Dustin and the things he regretted. And that to me meant more than telling me about who my enemies were, telling me who my friends were, just being man to man and being like, these are my regrets in this business as a father. Don't make the same ones. So that is my relationship with Dusty. I see him like a father. He's one of my fathers. I have a lot of fathers in this business.
Yeah.
I have a lot of brothers in this business. Dusty's one of my fathers.
Yeah. The more stories I hear, the more I see Dusty was like one of the probably like realest people back there.
Oh,
helping the younger talent out, and trying to looking out for everybody in a different perspective than maybe he should have.
I'll never forget this. We were in North Carolina, and we pull up to the hotel, and we have this nice Mustang convertible. Pull up to the hotel, park it. Drop our bags off, come back down, and I see Dusty. And Dusty's in his jeans and shit, and he's talking to this scraggly looking guy, right? They walk outside, and the guy's like, oh, my truck's over there. Dusty's like, all right, get a valet. The valet pulls up this beat up freaking pickup truck.
Yeah.
Dusty jumps inside. He goes, what you boys doing? And we're like, looking for food. He goes, follow us. We follow them down these back roads and all this dirt and all this crap. And I'm like, we're gonna get hung.
Yeah.
We're gonna die. We go to this hole in the wall mom and pop restaurant.
Yeah.
And have some of the best chicken, some of the best biscuits, some of the best tea I've ever had in my life. And it's just like that promo of I've wined and dined with kings and queens and I've slept in an alley and eating pork and beans.
Yeah.
It is true to nature. I mean, I'm getting goosebumps remembering it because these were the most down-home Southern white people I've ever met. Not a one of them were racist, were ignorant. They were just good people who just wanted to feed us. Didn't know we were wrestlers, didn't care who we were. It was just like, these are the people that Dusty lets into his life.
Yeah.
That's the kind of guy he is. That we're at this nice-ass hotel, and a beat-up truck pulls up, and we ride to this hole-in-the-wall restaurant. Nobody there but us.
Yeah.
And it's just beautiful.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Dude, I really appreciate those stories, man. Every time I hear another Dusty story, I'm like, man, this guy was the real deal, man. Like,
he's the shit. He's
nobody. Every time you ask somebody a Dusty Rhodes story, they'll tell you somewhere that they either were inspired by him, or he influenced them, or he helped them out. Like, he just seemed to be like that giving tree that never stopped giving, which is insane.
I'm seeing the comments like, "Where's JTG?"
Yeah,
he's at home.
One of these days, if we keep doing this
podcast, a nice house like this.
Yeah, if we keep doing this podcast, one of these days maybe we'll have JTG on us and we'll do it the three of us.
I already told you.
We'll shoot. Another question that we got a lot here was your thoughts on if you have a relationship or what your relationship is with Triple H. 25 years of Triple H in the WWE this week or today, I don't know exactly, but
for real?
25 years.
Pardon? My wife is like, yo, I'm hungry. She got to cook. Go ahead, cook. You good?
Yeah. We'll wrap this up soon.
With Hunter, Paul, you know what? If people don't realize this, but when we first started doing Cryme Time, we weren't Cryme Time.
Yeah.
It was me in tights and Jay with jeans. And I was the HNIC, the head nigga in charge.
Yeah.
And Jay was the neighborhoodie, or JTG. And I would go to the ring in tights, and Jay would just bounce around me. And the concept was that Butch and Bruce, that big pit bull, and the little dog that goes like hopping around him like that.
Yeah.
That was the whole concept of our gimmick.
Okay.
Which was that's how we pitched it originally, and it was kiboshed. But then when Vince saw the videos we did for our match with Kane and CM Punk, he was like, "Oh, I like this more," so our first 2 months on the road, I wore tights, and boots. And that's how we wrestled. And Jay wore jeans. Hunter's the one that changed the gimmick.
Yeah.
Hunter's the one that was like, it don't look right. You need to put some jeans on. And I'm like, what? He's like, where are those jeans you were wearing the other day? And I was like, oh, the Christian Audager ones? He goes, yeah, those are some nice jeans. I was like, oh, yeah, those are these. Like $400. He's like, well, you need to wear jeans like that on TV. And then I was like, okay. And so Hunter actually got in our ear and helped us, like, refine. Like, there was always a part of the company that wanted us to be, yo, what's up, yo? And then Hunter was like, pull that back.
Yeah.
So even back then, Paul saw, he was like, yeah, we can't, we're not going to have these guys doing this gimmick this long.
Yeah.
Yoing it up. They need to adjust it. And I remember we came back, we got fired for like, we got fined and fired for 3 months.
Yeah.
After that was over it, we were hired right back. So we didn't like, it was like we didn't have a contract for like maybe like a week.
Yeah.
But it's because of Paul and Stephanie. They actually want us back. And I remember when we debuted, Paul was like, what are you guys wearing? What do you look? What's your look? And I showed him, he was like, perfect. That's the right balance of street and wrestler that we need right now. He's like, this is what, and so you look at the modern version of Cryme Time, that's a lot of thanks to Paul.
Yeah.
You know? So I give him credit on that.
That's crazy. Yeah, that's the stuff that people won't know, man. This is why you got to talk to the people, Shad. This is why you got to talk to the people. I think we should wrap it up right now because I want to put this out. I don't want it to be like 3 hours for the people to listen to. I enjoy. If we're gonna do this every week, we gotta save some of the stories.
We're gonna do this every week. So let's announce. So next week we're gonna do Instagram Live.
Yeah, and YouTube Live.
And YouTube Live.
Yeah.
And it'll be more of a podcast format.
Yeah.
What we'll do is starting tomorrow, we'll start promoting it.
Yeah.
And if you have any questions, have people send you their questions, so you can have a schedule sheet and say what we're going to talk about. You do a pod, and then if whatever comes out of the podcast, we'll chop out the best parts.
Yeah, 100%. I agree.
Yeah.
We'll definitely do that. Once again, guys, you can find the show for now under the TWC show on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. I'll also save this and get this up on YouTube for you guys. And we're going to try to do this every week. So if you have questions, if you asked a question, we never got to answer it, we'll for sure be able to answer it in the coming weeks while we're stuck in quarantine. Yeah, man. And as you guys know, Shad's full of stories and things that we need to hear as wrestling fans, man.
Yeah. No, I'm down for it.
Yeah, I'm down for it too. Hope you guys enjoyed this. Once again, you can check out our first conversation on YouTube. It's already up there. Also, if you search TWC Show on Apple Podcasts and iTunes and Spotify, it's there as well. We'll definitely do this again. I appreciate you coming out and making this happen. I'm enjoying it. And I hope you guys enjoyed it too, man. We'll see you guys all a little later. See you later.
Later.
It's time to say goodnight. We sincerely appreciate your patronage and hope we've succeeded in bringing you an enjoyable evening of entertainment. Please drive home carefully and come back again soon. Good night.